Most people go to OpenArt, generate one image, scroll through the result, and close the tab thinking they've seen what the platform does. That's maybe 10% of what's actually here. OpenArt in 2026 is not only an image generator, it's a full creative studio. Images, videos, consistent AI characters, voice, audio, editing, 3D environments, all in one workspace. And the people using it seriously are producing content that used to take 5 different subscriptions and twice the time. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire platform from scratch. How to generate your first image, how to prompt properly, how to build a character that looks the same across every scene you put them in, and how to turn all of that into a video. By the end, you'll have a complete creative workflow you can actually use. And I'll show you later the one feature almost nobody uses when they first sign up. The one that completely changes the quality and consistency of everything you make. Stick around for that. If you'd like to get started with OpenArt for free, go ahead and find the link below this video and create your account as you watch along. What OpenArt is right now is an all-in-one creative suite that runs over 100 of the world's top AI models under one roof. Image models like GPT Image 2, Nano Banana Pro, Seedream 5, and Flux Context. Video models like Seedance 2.0, Kling 3.0 Omni, Veo 3.1, Sora 2, One 2.7, and more. And all of them are accessible from one dashboard on one subscription without switching tools. Here's why that matters. If you were paying separately for Kling, Sora, and a dedicated image generator, you'd be spending hundreds of dollars a month. OpenArt bundles it all into one credit-based plan, starting at $14 a month. You use credits across whatever combination of tools you need, images or video, and everything lives in the same workspace. On top of the models, OpenArt has a character system that keeps your AI-generated people looking identical across every image and video you create. It has a full image editing suite with inpainting, outpainting, object removal, background replacement, and upscaling. It has audio, voiceovers in 30+ languages, music generation, and lip sync. And it has worlds, a feature for generating navigable 3D environments. This is not a single-purpose tool, it's a pipeline. When you first log in, the dashboard can feel like a lot, so let me orient you fast. The top navigation gives you access to the main creation tools: image generator, video generator, AI character, AI influencer, and the editing suite. On the left sidebar, you'll find your projects folder, where everything you make gets saved, your assets where you store characters and style references, and the community section where you can explore publicly shared models, prompts, and fine-tunes. The models tab is worth bookmarking early. This is where you can browse every model available on the platform, read what each one specializes in, and choose the right engine before you start creating. Most beginners ignore this page entirely and wonder why their results are inconsistent. We'll come back to it. Your credits balance lives in the top right corner. Credits are shared across all tools. Images and video both draw from the same pool, which gives you flexibility. Different generations cost different amounts depending on the model and resolution you choose. That's all you need to know to navigate. Now let's actually make something. Open the image generator. You'll see the prompt box, the model selector, aspect ratio, quality settings, and a few advanced options. Let's break these down. Type a prompt. Keep it simple for now. Something like, now before you hit generate, look at the model selector. This is where most beginners make their first big mistake. They leave the default model in place, get a result they don't love, and immediately start tweaking the prompt. But the prompt isn't the problem. The model is. Different models are optimized for completely different output. Here's what that looks like in practice with the same prompt across 4 models. Using Seedream 5 or Nano Banana Pro on that rainy city street prompt gives you a highly photorealistic result. Sharp detail, realistic lighting, real depth. Switch to a stable diffusion fine-tune, optimized for anime, and the same prompt gives you a stylized illustrated scene. Flat colors, cell shading. Use GPT Image 2 and you get a polished result with exceptional text rendering and tight prompt adherence, meaning what you describe in the prompt is exactly what appears. Use a logo specialized model on that same prompt and you get a flat vector style composition that treats it almost like iconography. Same words, completely different outputs. The model is doing more work than the prompt in most cases, especially for beginners. So choose the model first based on what style you want, then write your prompt. On the settings side, aspect ratio controls your dimensions, so 16:9 for landscape content, 9:16 for vertical social posts, 1:1 for square. Quality settings control how many processing steps the AI runs, which affects sharpness at the cost of more credits. The seed number locks in a specific visual result, so you can reproduce it or make slight variations from the same same base. And negative prompts tell the AI what to exclude. Things like blurry, watermark, extra fingers, oversaturated, that commonly appear in AI generations when you don't filter for them. Now generate. If you want variations, generate a batch of 4 and compare. Most first generations are not going to be perfect, and that's expected. What you're looking for is a strong base to build from. A bad prompt gets you something. A good prompt gets you what you actually want. The difference is structure. Think of your prompt as having layers. Subject first. Who or what is in the image, described with specific details. Then environment. Where are they? What's around them? What time of day? Then lighting, golden hour, studio lighting, harsh shadows, soft diffused light. Then camera, portrait, wide shot, extreme close-up, aerial view. Then mood, cinematic, dreamy, gritty, clean. Then style, photorealistic, illustration, oil painting, concept art. Let's take a bad prompt and build it up. A chef is a bad prompt. It's vague. The AI fills in every blank with its own defaults, and you get something generic. A chef in a busy restaurant kitchen is better but still soft. That's a prompt that produces something specific. You describe the person, the setting, the lighting, the camera, and the aesthetic. The AI now has direction. Negative prompts work the same way with specificity. Instead of just writing bad quality, write blurry, overexposed, extra limbs, duplicate faces, text watermark, cartoon, oversaturated. The more specific you are about what to exclude, the cleaner your outputs will be. One practical habit: when you get a generation you love, copy the seed number before you change anything. That seed lets you regenerate the exact same foundational image later, or use it as a stable starting point for variations. Here's the feature I mentioned in the hook, the one that most beginners completely miss. The biggest limitation of AI image generators has always been consistency. You generate a character you love, then try to put them in a different scene, and they look like a different person entirely. Different face, different hair, different proportions. It kills any attempt at building a series, a brand, or a story. OpenArt's character builder solves this. You create a character once, upload one reference image or generate one from a prompt, describe their appearance, give them a background, and the system locks that visual identity. Every image you generate with that character tagged will use the same face, same features, same identity, regardless of the scene, outfit, lighting, or angle. Here's how to set one up. Navigate to AI character and click Create. You can start from a text description or upload a reference image. Write a detailed description of your character's appearance, age, skin tone, hair, eye color, build, and expression. Then add a backstory or personality note. This isn't just flavor text. It gives the AI context for how to place them in different environments. Once your character is saved, they appear in your assets panel. From now on, when you generate any image or video, you select your character from assets and tag them into the prompt. The output will use your character's face and identity, even if they're in a Tokyo street, a medieval castle, a modern office, or a sci-fi environment. Let's demo the difference. Take a character created in the system. Generate a morning routine shot in a sunlit kitchen. Then generate the same character at a networking event in a crowded conference room. Then generate them in a gym. 3 completely different scenes. Same person every time. That's not possible without the character system. And for anyone building a YouTube channel, social media presence, brand content, or story-based project, this is the feature that makes everything else actually work. Generating is the start. Editing is where you fix, refine, and extend. OpenArt's editing suite handles everything within the same workspace. The most important tools for beginners to learn are inpainting, outpainting, and object removal. Inpainting lets you select a specific area of an image and regenerate just that part. So if you generated a portrait you love, but the background is wrong, you mask the background, write a new prompt for it, and the AI regenerates only that area while leaving the subject untouched. Use it to fix hands, clean up expressions, or replace a distracting element. Outpainting extends your image beyond its original borders. If you generated a landscape but need more sky on the left and more ground on the right, outpainting generates new content that naturally continues the composition. This is how you turn a square generation into a widescreen cinematic frame. Object removal works with a brush. You paint over whatever you want to eliminate: a person in the background, a logo on a shirt, an object in the foreground, and the AI fills the space with contextually matching content. For clean product shots or editorial images, this saves hours of manual editing. There's also background replacement, where you isolate the subject and drop them into an entirely new environment. Upscaling, which increases resolution up to 4K without visible quality loss. And relighting, which changes the direction, color, and intensity of lighting after generation, which sounds like a small feature until you realize it means you can take a flat, midday lit portrait and give it golden hour warmth or dramatic studio shadows after the fact. None of this this requires leaving OpenArt. One platform, one workflow, no exports to Photoshop. This is one of the main reasons creators are migrating to OpenArt from single-purpose tools. The video capability is built directly into the platform and runs on the same models people pay separately for elsewhere. You have two starting points: text to video, where you describe a scene and the AI builds motion from scratch, and image to video, where you take a still image, whether generated in OpenArt or uploaded from outside, and animate it. For text to video, your prompt needs to include more than just the subject. The AI needs to know what's moving, how the camera behaves, and what the visual atmosphere looks like. A prompt like gives the model enough to build a coherent, directed shot. Woman walking at night gives you something generic. For image to video, start by generating or uploading a high-quality still. Then select your video model and write a motion prompt describing what should move and how. The AI animates the image according to your instructions. On model selection for video, Seedance 2.0 produces fluid motion with lifelike physics and strong cinematic camera work. Kling 3.0 Omni handles stylized motion, anime sequences, and audio-visual generation in one pass. Veo 3.1 is Google's model. High fidelity, excellent prompt adherence, best for cinematic realism. WAN 2.7 is versatile, strong for motion control and multi-reference generation. And for quick tests and fast turnaround, Pixverse and LTX 2.3 are the fast models you use when you just want to see if a concept works before spending credits on a premium generation. After generating a video, OpenArt's post-production tools handle the rest without leaving the platform. You can upscale to 4K, apply lip sync for talking characters, use motion sync to transfer movement from a reference video onto your character, add AI voiceover in 30+ languages, layer in sound effects and music, and extend the duration. This section is the one that will save you the most time and credits. Mistake 1 is changing the prompt when you should be changing the model. If your results don't look right, the first question is whether you've chosen the right model for the output you want. Try a different model before rewriting the prompt. Mistake 2 is using vague prompts. A cool portrait gives the AI nothing to work with. Describe the subject, environment, lighting, camera, and mood every time. Specificity is directly proportional to output quality. Mistake 3 is ignoring reference images. OpenArt lets you upload a reference image as a style guide, a composition guide, or a subject reference. Most beginners type only and never use visual inputs. A reference image cuts the number of generations needed in half because it shows the AI exactly what direction you're going. Mistake 4 is regenerating everything from scratch. If you got a generation that's 80% right, don't throw it away and start over. Use inpainting to fix the 20% that's wrong. This approach produces better results faster and uses fewer credits. Mistake 5 is not saving characters. Every time you generate a character you want to reuse, save them to assets immediately. If you don't, you'll spend generations trying to recreate them and never quite match the original. Mistake 6 is ignoring the editing suite entirely. A lot of beginners generate, don't love the result, regenerate repeatedly, and still don't get what they want. The editing suite exists specifically for situations where you're 80% of the way there but need to fix something. Inpainting, outpainting, and background replacement are the tools between okay and exactly what I wanted. Mistake 7 is treating OpenArt as an image generator. The moment you understand it as a creative pipeline, images, characters, editing, video, audio all connected, is the moment the quality of your work jumps. OpenArt is for creators who are tired of paying for 5 tools to do the work of one. It's for YouTubers who need consistent characters across thumbnails and channel art. For marketers who need video content without a production team. For founders who want a branded visual identity built quickly. For agencies turning around client assets without a full creative department. It's not for people who only want one-off images and don't care about workflows. If you need a single image every few weeks and never want to build anything, a simpler tool is fine. But if you're building something, a channel, a brand, a series, a project that needs visual consistency over time, OpenArt is the platform that makes that possible without the production overhead. Try it and drop a comment below with what you're building. I want to see what you make. And if you want to go deeper on any specific part of this, the character system, image to video, building custom models, or advanced workflows, those are all covered in separate videos on the channel. Subscribe and you won't miss them.